Hello, everyone. So we are going to be talking to Derek and Amanda. And because I'm great at the internet, I'm going to confirm, in fact, that we are live on YouTube. If someone could do me a favor and just type in the chat if they can see us, please let me know. Before I bring in, yep, we're live. Okay, sorry. Before I officially bring in Derek and Amanda to talk to us, I'm just going to go over some very basic information on human trafficking, and then they're the experts who are going to come in and tell me everything that I did wrong. So hello, we're all here. We're on the internet. So sorry. So bye for now. Sorry. One disaster per show. That's what we say. So to give everyone some background on this extremely important topic, I wanted to give us all some basic information because there are things that I think there's a lot of misrepresentations of human trafficking. So this is from some studies done by the United Nations. Very basic information, but things that I want you guys to know. First, it's estimated that nearly 30 million people are victims of trafficking worldwide, and that nearly 50 million people are currently enslaved globally. These numbers are huge and obviously very difficult to track given the nature of trafficking and the secrecy involved. So although specific numbers are very hard to get, these are the best estimates that we currently have. And it is something that has been reported in all 50 states, the District of Columbia, on all tribal land, and within every U.S. territory. So, hello, Jacob. This is an extremely serious and unfortunately very pervasive topic. And there are multiple websites you can go on to research human trafficking in your area. Where I live, very close to here in Glen Burnie, they just shut down a human trafficking organization and arrested 3 people with a total of over 200 charges. So this is happening, and it's happening a lot. And Jacob, yes, I'm sorry, this is your first welcome into my show, but tonight's a very serious topic because it needs to be. Also, Tank is snoring. So these, again, specific numbers are hard, but these are numbers from the United Nations on trafficking victims. I think because of TV, a lot of us think that sex trafficking is the largest number. The people most likely to be trafficked are actually young boys, and it's mostly boys and men trafficked for forced labor, which is just a good statistic to know because this is not a women's issue. This is a local issue. It is a global issue, and it affects people from all walks of life. If you feel that someone is being trafficked, if you yourself are being trafficked, or you know that there is a child in danger, these are the resources that you can contact directly. Again, we're going to talk more to Derek and Amanda about different ways that you can help. But this is information I just want to have up on the screen for a little while. So please take a screenshot of this because, as I said, this is a more pervasive issue than I think most of us realize. And these are some very basic signs you can look for to see if someone is being trafficked. Again, there are better ways to report than you directly trying to, talk to that person or approach any specific situation. But I want you to have this information. And we have a global audience here at Refashioned Hippies, so I'm just putting this information up on the screen. Derek and Amanda are going to give us some more specific information and talk about better ways to help than what I came up with in a 40-minute search on the internet. But again, I want to have this listed so that we can talk about it together. And then finally, I want to also show you this website, which we will be talking more about. Oh, did someone... Thank you, Derek. All right, so this is information for if you are in the UK. Honestly, if you guys are not from America, if you want to put some information down in the chat, I just want all of this to be on here so that you have a resource to refer to later. So thank you for that, Derek. I really appreciate that. The organization that they have partnered with can be found right here. This is rescue1global.org. And I'm going to turn this over to Derek and Amanda so that we can learn more about this organization and what they are doing. And I'm going to show you the Facebook page where you can find information for them. So this is Second Chance Sweets. Right now they are at 418 followers. Let's see how high we can get that by the end of the show. So Second Chance Sweets, you can find them here on Facebook. You can also find them on Instagram. And with that, let's meet Derek and Amanda. So hello, thank you guys for coming on the show. I just talked a lot. I'm going to turn it over to you guys for a second. So first of all, can you just tell us a little bit about how you got into this?
Sure. So Rescue on Global originally started with Daniel and Lacey Toller. They were overseas and on the mission field. They were missionaries, and their oldest daughter was attempted to be abducted by traffickers. And so when they came home, they could, on furlough, they could see that there was a lot of the same things going on here in the Tennessee area. So they got heavily involved in sharing awareness and things like that. And through a lot of prayer and partners, we were actually able to open our first house in 2016 to help. Actually, at that time was minors that were being trafficked, minor girls. And then in 2019, we opened a house for adults, which was actually when I came on with Rescue on Global. Trying to think of all the things to say.
I know I'm throwing a lot at you, but just
yeah.
One of the biggest questions that I have for you is just, could you talk a little bit about how people can be susceptible to trafficking? Because I certainly, before I started looking into this, thought that it was just like people from really, really, really poor areas who made bad decisions meeting someone online. And I'll be honest, after I posted the reel, just saying that I was going to be talking to you guys, horror stories, just absolute horror stories from people who said, nope, there was someone watching me at my bus stop at school for a month. And thank God a neighbor happened to be there. They are known traffickers, just horror stories. So can you tell us a little more about that?
Yeah, so it happens in every state, in pretty much every community in the U.S., and every socioeconomic status. Like, it is not a respecter of any kinds of persons. It can vary greatly. Serving minors, we see a lot of that with runaway youth. It literally takes 90 minutes for a trafficker to approach a runaway youth for them to get into a trafficking situation. With adults, it can happen very quickly. A mom with children, survival, just trying to put food on the table. Children and adults both can be groomed into situations. So it can vary greatly with our immigration. Immigrants can very quickly be their documents held, so that way they have to perform labor in rural areas.
One thing that really surprised me was the statistic that most people are trafficked by someone they know, including family members.
We see a lot of familial trafficking that comes through our residents' houses. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I should have led with that. So someone just gave a $1.99 donation. Anything that's given in this stream, I'm just going to like PayPal you guys afterwards.
Okay.
I'll deal with whatever like fees there are on this end. So yeah, anything that you guys choose to donate during the show, I'm not going to keep. I want to make that very clear. I'm not going to keep it. So I'm just going to keep a running total. But yeah, it was really shocking to me to find out that it's not just some people, because I think the same thing of people who assault children. It's like we want it to be this scary monster hiding in the bush that we can identify because they look like a bad person. And most of the time, it is a family.
Love and trust.
Yeah. And it's someone who should be caring for that person. And that's one of the things that makes trafficking so difficult is it's not one specific kind of tanky. There's no food here for you. There's no food at this site. There's not one kind of thing you should be looking for. Forced labor can look really, really different. Sex trafficking can look very, very different.
Yeah, for sure. And as even when I got involved in 2019, some of the things that we see have changed. People have gotten smarter. People have changed their tactics. There's still an underlying current of the same thing, but with the digital age and things like OnlyFans and pornographic sites like that, like people actually are being trafficked and people don't know because they think that they're willingly participating and they're not.
So Hannah just very quickly is saying they want to know the correct place to donate because they're in a bad headspace and don't want to watch. That's legit. Like, I understand that.
All donations can be made to rescue1global.org. There's a donate page. If you want to donate to the organization itself, you can donate. There's a tab. You can donate to the organization or you can donate to Second Chance Suites. But
I do also just want to highlight, like, this is not a fun topic.
No.
And especially with everything that's going on in the media right now, it's really easy to feel overwhelmed.
Absolutely.
One of the reasons I was really excited to talk to you guys is because you are doing something. So can you tell us a little bit about your organization, what you do, and what you hope to do?
Sure. So I was saying a little bit earlier about Rescue One Global, and we have 2 safe houses. One is for minor. Well, it used to be one was for minors and one was for single adult women. And one of the things that we've kind of gravitated towards is helping mothers with children. So that way they can come in and heal as a unit, because that has been the biggest gap in service nationwide. There's only, I think we're one of like 9 organizations across the nation that helps mothers with children, where they can come together and receive that healing and trauma therapy and get all of the things that they need to move from surviving to overcoming and then to thriving. What we've done inside of Rescue One is we started Second Chance Suites because one of our residents was really struggling to hold a job. She couldn't function out in public spaces because of the weight of everything that she was still carrying. And so we started Second Chance Suites inside of there so that way we could actually take the skills that they have already learned, not in a good way, and turn them into marketable skills where they can actually continue to support themselves once they leave our program. And that's something that we weren't afforded in the process of that. Like, we literally had to learn how to change those street skills that we learned on the street and change those, because I personally come from a very similar background to what the women have been through. So I've been able to encourage in different ways and really push them and keep pushing. That's what I say a lot is I'm a certified pusher. We're going to get there. Like, we're just next step. So
what is your next step for Second Chance Suites?
Our next step is getting a commercial license, so we're able to ship outside of Tennessee. We're looking at possibly getting a brick and mortar in the long run, self-sustainable work environment where all the employees are trauma-free or trauma-informed, so that way there's a safe place for the ladies to be, and no one has to tread lightly on feelings and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. So that's
yeah.
Oh, sorry, please. No, go ahead.
I was going to say where they can have a safe space, and like when on one day if the trauma is just too heavy and their coping skills aren't working, because we work a lot with mental health things, when all of those stop gaps aren't working, we still have a supportive safety net for them, so that way they can continue to do life without the disruption.
Sorry, dog.
Okay.
Welcome to my professional show. So one of the biggest questions that I want you to answer, because it's way better than me pretending I know what I'm talking about, is just, what can I do? Because I think it's really easy to look at a horrifying global problem and just feel really hopeless. So could you just go over, and I will try to help as I can, because I know I'm springing it on you. If I'm asking you, what can I do? What can I do? Obviously, donation is one of the biggest. People can donate to you to help your business grow, so you can continue to help people on a one-on-one basis. You can donate to Rescue One Global. And so that you guys know, you can directly donate for different elements of the work that Rescue One Global does. So they focus on preventing trafficking, rescuing people from trafficking, and just helping restore their lives. You can pick which of those you support the most, so that you know your donation is going to something that you feel very strongly about, which is something I appreciate on their site. It's very transparent in a way I appreciate. What else could someone do?
Just keep an eye out. You had posted the symptoms and all the things to look out for. Just keep an open eye.
And what should someone do if they see something that they don't like? Because if you see someone who looks malnourished, doesn't have a lot of possessions, that they don't have possession of their documents, like, what should someone do if they look at a situation and think, I don't like this?
Contact the local authorities. There's a human trafficking hotline.
It's 888-373-7888. That's the National Human Trafficking Hotline. And it's for whatever state in Tennessee. In Tennessee. Nationwide. There you go.
And have you found that if you contact your local authorities, they know what to do?
Most of them have really been engaging in that human trafficking field. So they're looking for the signs when they pick someone up. They, pull someone over for speeding or something like that. They see markers for that. They will call local organizations to try to get help for them.
That's good to hear, because that was something that I was worried about.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. We work very closely with our local law enforcement. They've been great. They've been awesome.
And before we go into more sad stuff, do you have any success stories that you can share with us? Anything that kind of keeps you going?
Wow, I have a lot of stories that have come across. We've had some great women that have come through our program, some that came in very broken, very sad, very hurt. And when they left our program, they were thriving and went on to lead. They are leading very happy lives with children, because that's even a most basic thing for a woman a lot of times, is to, that need or desire to have children, but can't stand the thought of someone touching them, in an intimate way. And so being able to be healed from that intimate abuse is a big thing. We had one lovely young lady that came to us when she was 13, and she just graduated high school this year, and it was so awesome to celebrate her and to watch her blossom into a full thriving adult, making big adult decisions.
I have to say, I have a 6-year-old right now. She's about to turn 7.
Mm-hmm.
And I know someone's going to bully her one day,
mm-hmm.
and I'm going to have to not get a felony conviction over that. I know that.
Yeah.
And I still struggle with it every day. So the idea of
mm-hmm.
a child being put in a situation like that is truly unimaginable to me.
Yeah. The biggest thing that I can say there is be your child's friend, but also be their parent, because there's a lot of evil, ugly things that are lurking on the other side of that cell phone. We are literally putting a computer and direct access to the world in our kids' hands when we give them iPads and iPhones and cell phones.
You know what? I'm actually really glad you said that. Just as a brief aside to any of the parents watching, please be very careful with Roblox and putting Roblox in your child's hand. Roblox has so little like restrictions on it as a company, and people are able to chat with your child and you don't know about it. It does not save the chat logs. Like, I don't let my kid use it anymore because we thought that we had completely blocked the chat function. Nope. It's like we blocked it in one game and not in all of the other games. And I found out she was talking to someone else. And, you know, again, she's 6. It doesn't sound weird to say, what's your name? What state do you live in? What do you like to do? And please, and again, there's reasons I don't put my child's face on the internet. Children are natural people pleasers. I'm sorry. I'm like just taking
No, you're right.
You're right. They'll do anything and everything just because. And I've heard some horrifying stories of the grooming that is going on Roblox, and what is friendly conversation can go
south real quick.
Yeah.
And please just be aware of the information that you put out on the internet about your child. Like, I don't show her face. I try to never say her name, never say the school that she goes to. Like, I don't want people to know if she has soccer practice every Tuesday at 3:00. Like, the world does not need to know that.
Right.
So please just be very careful with that specifically. You know what, along those lines, is there anything else that you want people to know in order to simply prevent trafficking? Because that's the biggest thing for me is.
Yeah. So as a mom or as parents of preteen, teenager, it's hard, right? Being a teenager is hard, and being a teenager in this day and time is even harder than it was for. I'm 42, so we didn't have the internet the same. The internet wasn't the same as it was back then as it is now. And the biggest thing that I do is have conversations with my kids. Of course, my children actually serve down at our safe houses with the women, and so they hear those stories too, and are very keen and aware about what's going on, and try to help give the same information to their friends. But the biggest thing is get in their privacy, get in their space, get in there, sit around the dinner table, have conversations, because when we lose the connection through the phone, we lose our children in the process.
You can be a friend, but you have to be a parent first.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. And like I said, it was really scary to see her chatting with someone because I looked away for 5 minutes making dinner, and it's like, you're not supposed to be able to do that. But yeah.
The same thing happened to our oldest, and I work in the field.
Yeah.
And she brought me the phone and she said, I don't like this conversation. And I said, I'm glad you brought this to me. And we immediately cut it off, like, yeah.
Sorry, just 80 pounds of love coming my way. Okay. I'm going to let you go for a minute. Is there anything that you want people to know? Anything that you will not leave my screen until you have gotten the chance to say?
Yes, for sure. I already touched on it earlier, and that's, trafficking happens in every community, every socioeconomic status, every state. And it can range from, survival sex to commercial exploitation, the OnlyFans, labor, and organ harvesting, all of those oddball things, right, that we are not generally accustomed to. But the one thing that I really wanted to say is that if someone is watching today, there is help out there for you. It's going to be one of the hardest calls you've ever made in your life, but on the other side of that, there's freedom. And it's hard, it's tough, but it's there.
Thank you. I'm going to cry a little bit in the corner. Okay. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be like undercutting.
Just want some love.
Not just when Tank is not paid attention to for about 20 minutes, that's her limit. So we've arrived at the end of that point.
Yeah.
And the option was to have her upstairs screaming or have her be here. So she's just going to be here. I apologize for that. Did not prep you for this question. Should have. Didn't on me. And yeah, she knows when I'm like sad. So like there's that. One of the most important things, and people are mentioning it in the comments, so I appreciate that. One of the most important things that I tell people to do is like, whatever effect you can personally have is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Mm-hmm. One of the most effective things that you can do is vote locally and speak to your politicians about the passage of new laws, new protections. Is there anything, and there may not be, and we'll look them up later. Is there anything that you would recommend someone, like, is there a law that you hope gets passed soon? Is there some sort of protection? Is there something you would like to see in place that people can take action on to maybe affect more nationally?
So as far as laws and things like that are concerned, a lot of those are state by state and can vary greatly. The biggest thing that anyone can do, though, is seek out the local organizations that are in your area. Volunteer at those local organizations. I know you said earlier, donation is one of the biggest things that can help any organization continue to provide care, but there are things that go into that. So, and I'll use this for example. The two houses that we have 7 people in each house. Mm-hmm. And so what you use in your house on a regular basis, laundry detergent, dishwasher liquid, dishwashing soap, all of the things, full-size shampoos, all of that stuff, they are going to need that in extra 7 replications in our house, for each house, because each person gets their own stuff. So donating things like that to your local organization. And when I'm reaching out to people, I'm asking for people to donate full-size bottles of things, not travel size, because people stay in hotels a lot. And so like that can even be triggering. And so a large bottle of something can create a small or a very small victory for them internally, where it's object permanence. And it means I'm going to be somewhere for a long time instead of being here for a night, there a night, there a night. So the little things add up. If your local organization has babies, diapers are always in need, wipes are always in need, cleaning supplies are always in need, all of those types of things. And just being the hands and feet, right? People need to know that there are safe people in the world, especially after having been through such a traumatic experience. And that traumatic experience could have been their entire life. And by people in authority for them, family members that they should have been able to trust. And so strangers, it's easier to build a wall than it is to allow someone in. And so just being there for someone, sitting with them when they're having a moment, because that's the biggest thing, is creating space for them to speak their feelings and give them a voice and a choice where they've never had one before.
There's so much that you just said that I want to talk about. No, but just that idea of object permanence just
Mhm.
really hit me.
Yeah.
So I just want to thank you again for doing what you do and for learning those kinds of lessons that makes it safer for someone to trust again and grow.
Mhm.
I want to ask you what this process is like for you, because you, I'm sure, have to break down those walls. How do you deal with the horrors that you hear about?
So, in our space, one of the things that we talk about is vicarious trauma. It's a real thing. When they start unloading all of the deep,
All of the feels.
all of the feels, all the deep, dark secrets, that they haven't been able to tell anyone else. One of the biggest things that I do is I sit in it with them, right? And remind them that they are loved and that they are worth it. And even though it doesn't feel like it right now, they are deserving to be happy.
And they're not alone.
And they're not alone. And so when they're screaming, cussing at me, yelling all the things, just sitting there and continue to build trust and show them what a true relationship really means, friendship really means.
Acceptance and understanding.
Yeah. But as far as getting rid of the horrors that they leave, I try to remember, this is not to internalize it. But we have a awesome therapist that is our clinical oversight, that she also provides therapy for our staff members, because the more you hold on to it, the more you internalize it, and the worse it gets for us also. And then we can't provide the best care that they need.
So in just a second, I want to turn it over to you guys in the comment sections. If you have any questions that you would like asked, we'll get to as many as possible. But just a quick reminder, because I was talking about this with someone else. Whatever extra stuff you have, someone needs it. I guarantee it. Please just find a way to find those people. And you're absolutely right.
Take it to Goodwill.
I started, don't take it to Goodwill. I started looking in my area, and there are 10 organizations within a half an hour drive where I could give my items if I so like. It was really shocking in a good way, which was nice to see. But yes, if you have clothing, if you have extra food, if you like whatever you have, someone needs it, and you can do a lot of good with those items. One question,
take it to a local church, and the churches know exactly where the places that need them and can take them to them.
Also, there's a lot of I here in Nashville, there's a lot of great mission-based thrift stores. So when you donate things, like if you don't have an organization that's in your area, you can donate to those mission-based thrift stores, and then they will sometimes, the one that we work with actually gives us a proceeds back on gift cards, and then I get to take my ladies to go shopping where they can pick out the things that they want.
Sorry, I'm just really happy I get to talk to you guys right now. I'll be honest. It's a little overwhelming to think about it, and you guys live through so much every day. So thank you. I did want to ask one question, just because it came up so many times in the comments on the previous video. If someone wants to get involved with housing someone who is leaving a trafficking situation, first of all, is that the most effective way they can help? And second, what does that process look like? And I just want that answered for everyone who asked about that previously.
So housing them in their personal home, I would not necessarily advise that.
Because so I'm basically hoping you can.
Yeah,
I didn't see you there, but yes, could we have this conversation?
Obviously, there's a lot that goes with it, right? So we are actually a licensed facility by the state of Tennessee, and that really provides, you know, a lot of checks and balances and making sure that we're providing the best care that we can. Not all organizations are like that, but they still report to, you know, board of directors and things like that. So making sure that you have those checks and balances so that way you're not hurt in the process as far as like mentally, I think is, you know, advisable. So definitely look at the other organizations that are in your local area and try to get them in with there. And then if you do want to help, you know, taking someone in from a transitional point of view would be I would advise that, because they need to learn that space outside of the congregate care setting. So that way they're learning those basic life skills that they might not have learned throughout their life, paying bills on time and things like that, you know, navigating healthcare systems and scheduling appointments. A lot of the things that we take for granted because we've learned how to do them, they don't even know where to begin. So mentoring someone through that after they've completed a stabilization would be more advisable than taking someone in straight off the street.
Yeah. Okay. So I was hoping you would say that, so it didn't sound callous when I said it, but there are reasons that people are specifically trained. And I'm sure that, like, you've been doing this for some time now. I'm sure you still get curveballs and you don't know, you got to work that on the fly. So it's a wonderful impulse to want to take someone in, but the most helpful thing for them and also for you might be to find a different avenue to help with that. So
yeah, get them to the place where they can get the help that they need.
Yeah. All right. I'm sad. I guess so.
Do we want to talk about cookies?
Yes, cookies? Please talk about the cookies. Talk about cookies.
Okay.
I'm going to pull you
excited. We had, like Miss Amanda was saying, we started out trying to fulfill a small need, and then it has grown. Now we are teaching kitchen skills and kitchen basics, along with all the other entrepreneurial skills to help them get more sustainable. And we thought cookies would be the best way to do it. Short, sweet, simple cookies. And then that has grown and grown and grown. And we are at we are now 2.5 or 3 months old.
Since late November.
Yeah, late November is when we first started. And we have been flying through it of sorts. But yeah, it's been a little tough here and there, trying to find events and whatnot. But here recently, we've been lucky, and the ladies have loving some spare cookies. Cannot go wrong with a good old double chocolate chip cookie.
Thank you. Preach, my brother. Okay.
But yeah, we're looking. The next step is commercial licensing and being able to ship. We haven't started shipping yet. We haven't had the need, but
yes, I'm bringing this up so that we can read it without just they'll never know, because we're so good at this. They're not going to see that we've stopped the conversation to read the comment. They're not going to know. We'll know.
But yeah.
The commercial licensing will allow us to ship interstate instead of just inside of Tennessee, because currently we can only do Tennessee orders. So that's the next goal.
Yes.
I do want to highlight that, though. If you guys want to help this organization, we all want our money to go the furthest that it can go when you donate to an organization, right? And it can feel like you're screaming into the void if you help pay for something like licensing, because that's not paying to rescue a woman from being trapped. Like that, it's not the direct line, but giving money to something like that will allow Amanda and Derek to help a lot more people. So please, if you can help, at all. If you can donate directly, wonderful. If you just share their page, if you share the videos that they're creating, if you share this video, all of that does help and all of that does matter. To make sure that your money goes the longest that it can go, please do consider donating for something like that. And I do want to ask, have you guys considered trying to get yourself sold in stores?
Not yet. We're not quite at that level yet.
Okay.
That's in the commercial licensing part.
Yeah, most definitely. We've talked to a few local little coffee shops, but at the current moment, like Amanda said, we can't sell to somebody else for them to sell quite yet. We can give them, or we can sell them cookies, but then they can't in turn sell it themselves.
Right.
So
Fair enough. Let me make it very clear that when you guys are able to ship outside of Tennessee, you guys will be hearing about it on this channel. Because I don't know if you offer a subscription service, but that's how I will be ordering cookies from you.
Well, I did ship you some samples, and you've got a couple of blueberry, 2 cafecito, 2 white chocolate cranberry, and 2 double chocolates coming. So hopefully you will enjoy. I hope you and the little missus have a little
She
snack.
doesn't need to have those cookies coming. She's good. I will be letting everybody know. But yeah, if you can become an influencer, let me tell you guys, do it. Because people contact you and say, "Can we ship you cookies?" It's so good too. I do want to highlight this question because I think it's a good one. From Raymond, how does one filter out legitimate organizations that help trafficking survivors from fake or abusive ones? Because again, unfortunately, as an influencer, I get contacted a lot to talk about different organizations. I was asked to share information about how you could donate to an AIDS orphanage in Ghana that a little bit of research told me was not in existence. Yeah. It was pretty much just like, hey, here's our WhatsApp number. Give us your cash for this poverty porn of children that was definitely taken off of someone else's YouTube page. So do you have advice for that? Because I'm sure that unfortunately that does exist.
So there's lots of different ways that you can actually do that. Within each state, you can always check with, here in Tennessee, it's the Secretary of State, but whatever business licensing agency out of your state, you can check there to see if they actually have an actual business license, if they're registered with the state. 501c3s through the IRS, you can go on there and check and see if they're a registered 501c3. And there's other organizations like the Institute for Shelter or Survivor Care that we are actually part of. So that way you can see that there. There's lots of different ways though, but those business ones is where I would check personally.
Just do a little background check. See if you find a page that has one picture and created like 2 weeks ago, probably fake. We've had a couple of those reach out and be like, "Oh, can I donate? I'm like, I don't even know you. Like, I don't even know where you're from. You created this profile 2 days ago. Like, no, I'm not giving you any information."
Yeah. And again, this is a resource for those of you in the UK.
That's awesome. And thanks for posting the one about the 501c3.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's really important. And unfortunately, it can happen. It can happen. Right. People set up big charities. It does happen. But I also just want to briefly say there is not one problem in the world with contacting people who are smarter than you. I don't know a lot about this issue, right. So I'm really happy that I can ask a question and you guys will answer it and I get credit on my channel. Like that's just a wonderful thing. So I will also say, if you have questions about something, contact people like Derek and Amanda who might know a little bit more than you, and do what you can to meet people is the last thing that I would say. Yeah. If there is a local charity that you want to get involved in, go look at it, because I guarantee they're happy to talk to you in person. They want to do the most good. So if all 100%. Sorry,
yeah, 100%. Now I will say most of the organizations are going to have an unlisted address because they're safe houses. So
yes, of course. Oh my God,
reaching out to them via email and set up, where you can talk to them. But there's a lot of great organizations nationwide.
And everybody should try to do a local search to see what is local to them and see what they can do to help as far as volunteering, whatever is in need, making donations there to help out locally in their area.
Yeah.
And could you briefly address urban legends? Someone was talking earlier about, so someone had mentioned previously that if someone pulls up to you with a map and says, could you show me where to go? Sometimes there are drugs on the map. Is any of that stuff that you have found, or is that just sort of old wives' tales?
I think them are old wives' tales. However, I am very sketchy to begin with because I did my stint out there on the street. And so I'm always sizing someone up when it comes to that kind of thing. But there is a lot of misinformation online, a lot.
One thing that I learned from a podcast, but I do want to share it here, is just something to tell your children, is that an adult does not need the help of a child.
Correct.
Never.
So if an adult pulls up next to a 6-year-old and says, hey, can you help me with this? The answer is no, because an adult does not need the help of a child.
100%.
And women, fuck politeness. If someone says, I'm lost, can you help me? Please follow me into this dark alley where my car is so that you can show me this. A lot of women feel like, I don't want to be mean and say no.
Yeah, just walk away.
Well, walk away. You do not have to help that person. Someone else will help them. We have the internet. Like, there is a system of satellites set up to help him find his way. He does not need you.
Yeah.
Back in the MapQuest days, maybe, but not anymore.
But really, it's like whatever it is, you don't have to help someone. If that man wants to carry your groceries inside your house for you, you don't have to say yes because he's being nice and you think you'll be a bitch.
Sure. Thanks for the chivalry, but no.
Yeah. Like you get to protect yourself by saying, get the fuck away from me. And that's fine. Because best case scenario, you were mean to a nice man. Worst case scenario, you almost died today. So yes.
You always have to trust your gut.
And I want to highlight this too, because we talked about it at the beginning of the show, but I know that some people have come in and out since then. Stranger danger, sure, is always kind of a thing, but absolutely. One thing that I discovered in, again, my very basic research is that most of the trafficking is done by family members or people who are close to the victim. That is absolutely true. And it's horrifying.
Yeah.
Before we got started, we were at a conference learning more about them. The stories of foster children turned my gut up a little bit. The fact that these tiny little children that are supposed to be having a new home with new parents, and the parents are like, you're my moneymaker.
Yeah. It tore us up.
Yeah.
That's what really blazed the
when you
way.
have two kids of your own and you're like, whoa, that's a child. Like, you can't do that to a child. Like, are you serious? So.
And Ellie is absolutely right. Again, a statistic we had earlier in the show, but that I want to highlight here. Yes. Could someone please put a link in the chat so I can put that up for their business? Thank you so much. Is that it is mostly men who are being trafficked. I think we all think societally that it's mostly women who are being trafficked for sex. The horrible reality is that it is, again, nearly 30 million people currently being trafficked, and most of it is for forced labor. Mm-hmm. So trafficking looks like a lot of different things.
Yes. And we only serve just one portion of the field, right? Unfortunately, a big unfortunate is that there's not a lot of services for men. Mm-hmm. And that's horrifying and heartbreaking because our men deserve to be treated with respect and love just the same way.
No, thank you for saying that. So the last thing that I want to end on from my perspective is just truly, if you see something, say something. because again, if you're wrong, maybe the cops knock on someone's door and they have an awkward 10 minutes. If you're right, you could save someone's life.
Right.
Is there anything that you would like people to know? Just a sort of closing statement on this.
I said it before, but I'll say it again. There's freedom on the other side. So if there's anyone that needs help, do not hesitate to reach out. There is someone waiting on the other side of that phone line for you. And if you want to share that phone number again, so that way people can have it on the National Trafficking Hotline, there's help. There's help for everyone.
And just to show again, if you guys want to follow them on Facebook, I'm very smoothly transitioning to that. You'll see. This is their page on Facebook, Second Chance Suites. They are up to another 10. Let's get that higher, guys. And there's also Rescue One Global if you want to get more directly involved. But oh, here we go. Thank you, Derek. Yeah, this is the link to their Facebook. They're on Facebook and Instagram. How would you prefer to be contacted? Is there a
there's not a preference. Either way, it's joined to the both of us. So one of us will get the message.
Get us direct.
All right. So again, this is Derek and Amanda. Thank you guys so much for coming on here and doing this. This is a global issue, but also a local one. And I guarantee it is disturbing. If you Google human trafficking in your state, not only will something come up, something will come up immediately, and it will probably horrify you. So this is something that is happening on a very large scale. And I just want to thank you guys for doing something about it and multiple things about it. I mean, world needs more people like you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for having us on. And thanks for everyone tuning in too, because this is heavy stuff. Heavy. And it's hard for people.
I haven't been highlighting every link in the comments, and thank you. I'll add those links to my link tree so people can find you more directly right after this. I haven't been highlighting every comment, but just so you know, people have been so appreciative of you in the comments. So truly, thank you for what you're doing. It is incredibly appreciated.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, thank you, and thank you for everyone who chose to join us tonight. Again, this is not fun. Next week we'll make fun of jeans again, but yeah, every once in a while we got to do this.
Bad designs.
Yeah, God, man. Oh, the dick. Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Everyone. We will see you again next week.